Welcome back in the hobby area. Today I want to present you sculpturing with clay. So these are some sculptures that I made and painted with bronze acrylic paints. I've also made some easy figures with the clay, and you can achieve quite some nice decorations with it. Then also here are some easy things that my daughter made. They are not painted, but yeah, we like here you can pick up the sculpturing technique quite easily and get really nice results with it. So what we are using here to do our hobby is we are using the soft clay. In German it's called soft tone. I use the firm Glorex, but there are others that sell this. These are blocks. If you seal them in some bags, they also stay soft and doesn't dry out. The benefit on this clay is that it hardens at the air, so you don't have to burn it or put it in the oven like FEMO or something like that. You can just use it, and after you use it, you let it stay for some days and it will totally dry and be hard. The one thing that it's not possible with this clay is you don't get it to be watertight. So if I put water in it and would let this cup, for example, let it stay a few days, it will be totally soaked and collapse again. So, but this is something you can even use. I have here some old clay that I always have in this mug. And normally, if I want to start to do this modeling, I would do some water in it and let this soak through. So that's called slick in German. And slick is like the glue you can use to do something like glue different parts of the model together. You just do a little crisscross, like perhaps here on this shell of the turtle. You do a little crisscross, do a little bit of the slick on it, and then you can press two parts of clay together and they will stick together. For example, here you can see this. These were 3 blocks that were stick together. Also, on this little girl here, the head was stick to the corpse in the same manner. What's also beneficial in this hobby is to have a turning table like this. So if you are modeling, you don't have to reach around and do things to get at the right spot. What I'm using here are some wood boards so that I can take, after I finished the sculpture, take the whole sculpture with a board and put it somewhere to dry, and then I have the spinning board free for the next sculpture. And these boards are quite cheap. You can buy them, for example, in a craft store or at Amazon, and it's really good that you can turn your model and work in a good working position upright and work with the tools. And for the tools, you have a little sponge. Normally there would be water in this, and the sponge is for smoothing out the outline of the figures. And then you can get some tool sets. I've got this even from Amazon, or here is, for example, an old knife that I misuse for this hobby. And like, I don't know, these are special tools. You can also use like, there are these tools where you can where you can get the middle out of apples or something like that. There you can use for this. And a good tool to have is this, like it's a sculpting tool which is very versatile. You can do very much with it, and I would highly suggest you pick up one of this. You can get them as plastic tools or wood tools. I had it in the set, which came also with some other tools which I don't use as often. Yeah, so these are some sculpting tools where you can do different things and get the clay out. And it's really fun. You don't need to invest much money. Perhaps here an old brush to soften some textures or do some texturing if you stipple with it or something like that. And also from my grandmother, I had something like this little fabrics that she produced. And because today no one uses this anymore, and you can do some very nice textures. If you, I've got a rolling iron here in a wood form, and you can roll it on the clay and get really nice textures out of this. So yeah, that's just everything I have and use for it. And the fun thing is, in the end, you didn't need any of this. So there's something like a sponge and a little bit of water you have at home already, I think. And the one thing that you need is to buy the clay, and you can work totally without any tools. So these tools are totally optional, in my opinion. But they make it much easier and more fun to do the hobby. And normally everybody has some old mugs standing around which you can abuse, and you've got some place in the cupboard then free to buy new mugs with perhaps some cool motifs. These are only white mugs, so yeah, that's all you need to do it. I hope that you like the presentation, and perhaps you give it a try. It's really fun to do. You can also do it with your kids and family. So pick it up, a nice little hobby to do, and really fun and inexpensive. So have fun and bye.